Cheese often gets a bad rap, seen as too rich, too salty, or just an indulgent treat. But what if I told you that certain types of cheese, when selected carefully, can actually support muscle regeneration after the age of 65? That's right. Your fridge might be hiding a simple, wax-wrapped secret weapon against muscle decline. In this video, I'll introduce you to 3 types of cheese packed with the proteins, healthy fats, and nutrients that aging muscles truly need. These aren't your typical snack cheeses. They're potent, natural tools for muscle repair that health experts are increasingly recommending for older adults. Stay with me through the end, and I'll explain exactly how to enjoy them in a way that boosts strength without added risk. I'm Dr. Oliver James, and after 3 decades of helping seniors regain mobility and energy, I've discovered something unexpected. The right cheeses don't just fit in a healthy diet, they can be a game changer for preserving muscle past 65. Sarcopenia, the quiet and widespread muscle loss that affects millions of seniors, isn't unavoidable. Today I'll show you how 3 flavorful and accessible cheeses can help you remain strong, balanced, and independent much longer than you imagined. So go ahead and grab a notebook. You're going to want to take notes on this one. Let's begin with cottage cheese. Now, you might be thinking back to those old-school diet fads from the 80s, but don't let that fool you. This modest cheese is actually one of the most effective foods for muscle support in seniors. Here's why cottage cheese stands out. Just half a cup of the low-fat variety gives you 14 grams of high-quality protein for just 81 calories. That means nearly 70% of its calories come directly from protein. To put that in perspective, traditional cheddar only gets about 24% of its calories from protein. Clearly, cottage cheese is in a class of its own. But it's not just about quantity, quality matters too. That same half cup of cottage cheese delivers over 1 gram of leucine, a vital amino acid that acts as the ignition switch for muscle growth. As we age, our muscles respond less efficiently, and they require more leucine to kickstart the rebuilding process. Experts recommend around 3 grams of leucine per meal for older adults to properly stimulate muscle development. A single serving of cottage cheese gets you a solid third of the way there. What makes cottage cheese especially ideal for older individuals is its ease of consumption. Many people struggle with chewing tough meats or experience a reduced appetite as they age. Cottage cheese is soft, mild, and easy on the digestive system. You can enjoy it straight from the container, pair it with fruit for a simple breakfast, or blend it into a smoothie. You won't even taste it. The primary protein in cottage cheese is called casein, and that's crucial. Casein is a slow-digesting protein, which means it delivers a steady flow of amino acids over 6 to 8 hours. It's like a slow-release supplement that helps maintain muscle throughout the day. Eating cottage cheese at night can even reduce muscle breakdown while you sleep. Research supports all of this. Studies involving close to 1,000 older adults found that those who regularly consumed cottage cheese experienced measurable gains in muscle mass over time. Casein's long-lasting effects were especially helpful for preserving muscle during periods of inactivity. Need practical ideas? For breakfast, mix it with fresh berries and a bit of honey for a protein and antioxidant-packed meal. Prefer something savory? Stir in chopped cucumbers, tomatoes, and herbs like dill or chives. At lunchtime, it makes a great high-protein base for dips or sandwich spreads. For dinner, swap it in for ricotta and pasta dishes or stir it into casseroles. Don't like the texture? Blend it into fruit smoothies for a creamy, protein-rich drink that masks the flavor completely. Some of my patients even use it in place of mayonnaise in tuna or chicken salads. For optimal results, aim for half a cup to a full cup daily, and ideally enjoy it in the morning. After an overnight fast, your muscles are primed to absorb protein, making breakfast the perfect time to eat it. Next up is a surprising powerhouse of nutrition: Parmesan cheese. This might catch you off guard, but Parmesan, or Parmigiano Reggiano as it's called in Italy, is one of the most concentrated and nutrient-dense muscle-supporting foods out there. Most people only think of it as a topping for pasta, but there's much more to it than that. Just a small 1-ounce piece, roughly the size of your thumb, delivers over 10 grams of complete protein. That's one of the highest protein-to-weight ratios among cheeses. For older adults who may not eat large portions, that kind of protein density is incredibly valuable. But what truly sets Parmesan apart happens during its aging process. Authentic Parmesan is aged for at least 2 years. During this time, natural enzymes break down its proteins into smaller, more easily absorbed peptides. Essentially, it's as if the cheese is partially digested for you, making it far easier on your gut. This is especially helpful for seniors whose digestion may have slowed with age. Many people I speak to mention they feel bloated or uncomfortable after eating high-protein foods. Parmesan, however, is gentle on the stomach thanks to this extensive fermentation. After 2 years, it even becomes virtually lactose-free, making it suitable for most people who are lactose intolerant. But Parmesan's benefits don't stop at protein. It's also an excellent source of calcium. Just 1 ounce provides about 331 milligrams, or roughly a quarter of your daily calcium requirement. And while most associate calcium with bone health, your muscles need it just as much. Every muscle contraction in your body relies on calcium to function properly. In fact, new research shows that low calcium intake is strongly linked to accelerated muscle loss in older adults. So when you include Parmesan in your diet, you're giving your muscles both the protein they need to grow and the calcium they require to move efficiently. You may be wondering if real Parmigiano Reggiano is too expensive. But here's the thing, because it's so nutrient-dense, a little goes a long way. Just 1 to 2 ounces per day can significantly support muscle health. That's about 2 tablespoons of freshly grated cheese. And freshly grated is key. Those pre-shredded containers don't hold a candle to the real deal. Grating it yourself gives you better taste, richer nutrition, and helps you feel satisfied with less. Here are some simple ways to use it. Grate Parmesan over scrambled eggs for a protein-packed breakfast. At lunch, sprinkle it over salads or soups to boost both flavor and nutrition. For dinner, try it on steamed veggies or baked into a vegetable gratin with cauliflower or broccoli. You can also enjoy a small chunk as a savory snack, perhaps alongside some fruit or nuts. And when shopping, look for Parmesan wheels labeled Parmigiano Reggiano with the dotted rind markings. It might cost a bit more upfront, but since you'll need only small amounts and get high nutritional value, it ends up being very economical. Our third cheese for muscle support is ricotta, and it has a unique edge over all the others. Unlike most cheeses, ricotta is made from whey, the liquid that remains after cheese making. That might sound like a leftover, but it's actually what gives ricotta powerful, fast-acting muscle repair qualities. Here's why this matters. Most cheeses contain casein protein, which digests slowly over several hours. Ricotta, however, contains a high amount of whey protein, which your body can absorb much faster, within 30 to 60 minutes. For seniors trying to maintain or regain muscle, this speed of absorption is a major advantage. Think of it like this. After light activity like walking or gardening, your muscles are most receptive to nutrients. Eating ricotta during this window gives your body exactly what it needs, right when it needs it, to start the muscle repair process immediately. A half cup of whole milk ricotta packs around 14 grams of protein, close to what you'd get in cottage cheese, but with a different amino acid profile. It's especially rich in branched-chain amino acids, BCAAs, a group of amino acids that go straight to the muscles without needing to be processed by the liver. This makes ricotta a direct source of muscle-building fuel. One reason ricotta works so well for seniors is its soft, creamy texture. Many older adults have dental problems or swallowing difficulties, and ricotta is far easier to consume than tougher protein sources. It's also naturally mild in flavor, which makes it incredibly flexible in both sweet and savory dishes. Plus, ricotta is lower in sodium than most cheeses, only about 100 milligrams per half cup, compared to 400 plus mg in others. For people watching their blood pressure, this makes ricotta a heart-smart option. The research backs this up. In one study, people who consumed around 3/4 of a cup of ricotta daily not only gained lean muscle, but also improved their balance and physical performance. In men especially, muscle strength improved noticeably in just 90 days. And it doesn't stop at muscle health. Ricotta's whey protein may also help reduce blood pressure and boost heart health, making it a double win for aging adults. In terms of usage, ricotta is extremely versatile. Unlike the lumpy texture of cottage cheese, ricotta is smooth and spreadable. At breakfast, try mixing it with honey and cinnamon and spreading it on whole grain toast. For lunch, it makes a great high-protein dip or sandwich spread. At dinner, use it to stuff vegetables like bell peppers or zucchini, or stir it into pasta for a creamy, protein-rich meal. You can even make healthy desserts. Blend it with cocoa powder and honey for a light mousse, or with fruit for a protein-packed smoothie. Some people even mix it into pancake or muffin batter to increase the protein content. When buying, choose whole milk ricotta for the best muscle-supporting benefits. The reduced-fat versions are lighter on calories, but they may not offer the same level of satiety or protein. Look for brands with simple ingredients, just milk, vinegar or citric acid, and a touch of salt. For best results, eat ricotta within 2 hours of physical activity. That could be anything from a morning walk to light gardening. Its fast-absorbing whey protein ensures your muscles get the fuel they need, right when they need it most. Now that you're familiar with the best cheeses for muscle health, let's talk about when to eat them, because timing can dramatically impact their effectiveness. Surprisingly, recent research challenges some long-standing beliefs about meal timing. For decades, we've been told dinner should be the biggest meal. But if you're over 65 and aiming to maintain or rebuild muscle, breakfast turns out to be the most crucial meal. Here's why. After 8 to 10 hours of overnight fasting, your body begins breaking down muscle to fuel basic bodily functions. Your first meal is your chance to shift your body from muscle loss to muscle building. Studies show that seniors who consume 25 to 30 grams of protein at breakfast maintain much higher rates of muscle protein synthesis compared to those who opt for typical low-protein breakfasts, like toast and coffee. Unfortunately, most people over 65 only get around 8 grams at breakfast, far below the muscle-building threshold. This is exactly where our 3 recommended cheeses come into play. A breakfast with half a cup of cottage cheese, some berries, and a sprinkle of Parmesan delivers around 24 grams of high-quality protein and over 2 grams of leucine, a crucial amino acid for muscle growth. That's enough to jumpstart your body's repair process. But timing doesn't stop with breakfast. It's also about spreading your protein intake evenly throughout the day. Many older adults follow a light-heavy pattern. They skimp on breakfast and lunch, then overload on protein at dinner. Unfortunately, this doesn't benefit aging muscles. Your body can only effectively use 25 to 35 grams of protein at one time to build new muscle. Eating 60 grams all at once at dinner won't help. Your body can't store the excess for later. It's like watering a plant with a bucket once a day instead of small amounts throughout. The ideal strategy? Aim for 25 to 30 grams of protein at each meal. For example, start with cottage cheese and fruit at breakfast. Enjoy a ricotta and veggie sandwich at lunch, and include grated Parmesan on your dinner dish. There's also a timing trick to boost results. After any physical activity, even a short walk or light gardening, have one of these cheeses within 2 hours. The combo of protein plus activity creates a stronger muscle-building effect than either on its own. No need for intense workouts. Even gentle movement like stretching, walking, or chores can activate your muscles. The key is to fuel them while they're still primed for repair. Now, how much cheese should you actually eat daily? Let's break it down with real numbers. Experts recommend adults over 65 consume about 1 to 1.2 grams of protein per kilogram of body weight. To calculate yours, divide your weight in pounds by 2.2. Then multiply that by 1.2. For instance, if you weigh 150 pounds, that's roughly 68 kilograms. Multiply by 1.2, and you need around 82 grams of protein daily. Of course, cheese shouldn't be your only protein source, but it can play a key role, especially in meals where other proteins are scarce. Based on the research studies that delivered the best outcomes, here's what I suggest when it comes to daily cheese consumption. Aim for 2 to 3 servings of our recommended muscle-supporting cheeses each day. Each serving should offer 10 to 15 grams of protein. For example, you could start your day with half a cup of cottage cheese at breakfast, add an ounce of Parmesan to your lunch, and include a third of a cup of ricotta at dinner. This adds up to about 35 to 40 grams of protein from cheese alone, covering nearly half of your daily protein requirements. Now, you may be wondering about the fat and calorie content. It's true cheese contains fat, but we're talking about moderate portions, not overindulgence. The total calorie intake from these servings would be around 300 to 400 calories per day, which fits comfortably into a healthy eating plan. What really matters is consistency. The most impactful studies had participants eating cheese every day for at least 60 to 90 days. Just eating it occasionally won't lead to meaningful muscle improvements. Think of cheese like a daily supplement. It needs to be part of your regular routine. I often tell patients to view cheese as an investment in long-term independence. The extra calories you're adding now may be the reason you're still climbing stairs with ease at age 80 instead of struggling with everyday tasks. While the research shows that cheese alone can help combat muscle deterioration, the results become even more powerful when combined with the right type of physical activity. Scientists call this a synergistic effect. The benefits of cheese and exercise together are greater than the sum of each individually. The most effective form of activity for building muscle is called resistance training. But don't worry, this doesn't mean lifting heavy weights or using fancy gym machines. For older adults, resistance training can be simple and safe. Examples include standing up from a chair repeatedly, doing wall push-ups, or using elastic resistance bands. Here's what the research reveals about this dynamic duo. When you engage in resistance-based exercises and follow it up with one of these high-protein cheeses within 2 hours, your muscles show a significantly stronger response than they would with protein alone. In fact, this combination has been shown to reactivate a more youthful muscle-building response, even in individuals over the age of 80. The great thing about this strategy is that you don't have to work out daily. Research has shown that doing resistance training just 2 to 3 times per week is enough to preserve and even grow muscle, especially when combined with proper protein intake. On the days you're not formally exercising, you should still keep up with your cheese servings to ensure your muscles continue getting the nutrition they need. In fact, everyday movements can count toward resistance training. Activities like gardening, carrying bags, going upstairs, and even energetic cleaning can stimulate your muscles effectively when paired with quality protein. The key is simple: stay physically active and nourish your muscles with the right foods. Now, while cheese can be incredibly beneficial, there are a few considerations to keep in mind, especially if you're dealing with specific health concerns. Let's start with lactose intolerance, which often becomes more common as people age. The good news? The cheeses we've been talking about tend to be easier on the stomach compared to milk. Aged Parmesan, for instance, contains almost no lactose thanks to its long fermentation. Cottage cheese and ricotta do have some lactose, but far less than regular milk. If you're sensitive, start with small portions and monitor your reaction, or consider using lactase enzyme supplements before eating. If high blood pressure is a concern, pay close attention to the sodium content. Parmesan naturally contains more salt due to aging. Cottage cheese varies widely. Some brands have over 400 milligrams of sodium per half cup, while others have low-sodium versions under 100 milligrams. Ricotta tends to be lower in sodium overall. Always check the label and opt for lower sodium choices when possible. And don't forget to balance your diet with plenty of fresh fruits and vegetables. Worried about cholesterol? There's encouraging news. Recent studies involving thousands of people show that eating cheese in moderation as part of a balanced diet doesn't raise the risk of heart disease for most people. Just be mindful of portions, and if you're concerned, choose reduced-fat options like part-skim ricotta or low-fat cottage cheese. If you're on blood-thinning medications like warfarin, it's important to keep your cheese intake consistent day to day. Cheese contains vitamin K, which can interfere with such medications if your intake fluctuates. You don't need to avoid cheese altogether. Just be regular about your portions and inform your doctor about your diet. Those with kidney problems or reduced kidney function need to be cautious with high-protein diets. If you have any kidney issues, please consult your doctor before significantly increasing your protein intake, whether it's from cheese or any other source. Now let's put all of this into a practical daily routine you can start today. Begin by turning your breakfast into a muscle-boosting meal. Within 1 hour of waking up, eat half to 1 full cup of cottage cheese. You can top it with fresh berries for added antioxidants and natural sweetness. Prefer savory? Try it with chopped tomatoes and herbs for a refreshing flavor. Not a fan of cottage cheese? No problem. Spread ricotta on whole grain toast, drizzle with honey, and sprinkle a bit of cinnamon. Your goal is to get 25 to 30 grams of protein at breakfast to kickstart muscle growth for the day. At lunch, look for simple ways to incorporate Parmesan into your meals. Shave or grate an ounce over your salad, mix it into soups or layer it into sandwiches. Its rich flavor not only enhances your food but also adds a satisfying dose of protein. If your lunch is on the lighter side, think about incorporating ricotta as a spread or a base for dips, especially when paired with fresh veggies. Don't forget, this meal should ideally contain another 25 to 30 grams of protein to keep your muscles nourished and supported. When it comes to dinner, be smart about using cheese to enhance your meal's protein content. For example, if you're having pasta, stir in some ricotta to add creaminess along with a protein boost. If you're eating mostly vegetables, a good sprinkle of freshly grated Parmesan can go a long way. If your main dish already includes a high-protein food like meat or fish, you can either use just a small amount of cheese or reserve it for a nighttime snack instead. It's also smart to keep these muscle-supporting cheeses handy as convenient snacks. Think small cups of cottage cheese, pre-measured portions of ricotta, or even a few chunks of Parmesan. Perfect for a quick bite after activity or between meals when you need a little extra energy. Let's say you take just 10 minutes to do a simple workout, something like standing up and sitting down from a chair 10 times, doing wall push-ups, or lifting your arms with light weights or water bottles. This short session may only take a few minutes, but when followed by a snack of cottage cheese or a meal featuring Parmesan or ricotta, your body will make far better use of the protein. It's like you've activated your muscles, making them more eager to absorb those nutrients. To track your progress, consider keeping a simple food and activity journal for the first couple of weeks. Write down which types of cheese you ate, how much, and when you consumed them. After about 2 weeks, start noticing any changes, like better energy, improved ease with everyday tasks, or a general sense of being stronger. By 30 days, you may find that activities like lifting groceries or rising from a chair start to feel easier. And by 90 days, you could experience noticeable gains in strength and overall physical ability. As we come to the end of this video, let's wrap up with a clear set of steps you can take starting today to kick off your muscle-building cheese journey. Step 1. Head to your local grocery store and pick up the 3 key cheeses we talked about: cottage cheese, authentic Parmesan, and ricotta. Stock up enough for at least a week so you can try out different ways of incorporating them into your meals and figure out what you like best. Step 2. Take a few minutes to calculate your daily protein requirement using the simple method I explained earlier. Write that number down and post it somewhere visible, like on your fridge, as a daily reminder to stay on track. Step 3. Plan your meals for tomorrow, ensuring that each one includes 25 to 30 grams of protein, with at least one of the 3 muscle-building cheeses included. Step 4. If you're not already moving much during the day, begin with just 5 minutes of gentle activity. It could be sitting and standing from a chair, wall push-ups, or lifting light objects like water bottles. Try doing this 2 or 3 times throughout the week. Keep it simple and manageable. Step 5. Mark a date 90 days from today on your calendar. That's your checkpoint. Take time then to reflect on how you feel, how much strength you've gained, and what improvements you've noticed in your day-to-day life. Many people are truly surprised by how much they change in just 3 months. Here's the truth: muscle loss doesn't have to be part of aging. With the daily addition of these 3 cheeses, and by following the strategies we've gone over, you can maintain and even rebuild your strength well into your 70s, 80s, and beyond. The science is solid, the plan is easy to follow, and the potential benefits are huge, but none of it works without action. So here's the real question: will you start today? Will you have cottage cheese for breakfast tomorrow? Sprinkle fresh Parmesan on your lunch? Commit to eating these cheeses consistently for the next 90 days and see just how far your body can go. I believe you can, because everyone deserves to grow older with strength, dignity, and independence. These 3 simple cheeses can be powerful tools on that journey. Use them with purpose, use them every day, and watch what happens. Your muscles are ready, they're just waiting for the right fuel. And now, with cottage cheese, Parmesan, and ricotta on your team, you're fully equipped for success. Remember, it's never too late to rebuild strength. Now you know exactly how to begin. Thank you for spending this time with me. Here's to better health, greater strength, and years of confident, independent living ahead. Now go enjoy some cheese. Your future self will be grateful you did.